Hi guys, Wayne and Tom here, and we'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who made it to Webinar 7. We had our biggest turnout yet, and by far the most interaction in the chat room, which made the overall vibe of the webinar super fun. This time, Tom showed off our new folders feature, which is an incredibly powerful way to keep your videos organized. He also showed off how to search for a video and our new sort by feature. Now, if you're not 100% sure what I'm talking about when I say that, stay tuned and check it out. After that, we showed off another cool feature that allows you to split your script by sentence or paragraph, which is an incredibly quick way to pump out an engaging video. Then we ran through a quick refresher on keyboard shortcuts and another new feature, adjust video length, which has been a heavily requested feature for a while now. Then we talked about a new community-based Facebook group called I Use Content Samurai, which you'll find a link to under this replay video. And then we finished off by taking questions from the chat room and tried to answer as many of them as we could. So strap in for the Webinar 7 replay. I'm sure you'll learn a few things that will help you create better videos even faster.
So the one thing I wanted to show you first of all today is a new feature that we call folders. So previously, all of your Content Samurai videos that you created would end up on your dashboard here. If you had hundreds of videos, you would have to scroll through them all to try and find a certain video. Now what you can do is you can actually sort them into their own folders, which if you've got multiple clients, it'll mean that you could have a folder for client A, a folder for client B, and it means that you can actually sort them out, go into the specific folder and find what you need. And you can also search for videos now, which is another killer feature that was missing from the app that is now in there. So I guess the best way for me to kind of explain how it all works is to just show you. So you'll see here I've got 6 videos on my dashboard. I've got 3 motivation videos and I've got 3 cooking videos. So it would probably make sense for me to try and split them up and have them in their separate folders. So a folder for motivational videos and a folder for these 3 cooking videos. So what you do is you come up here and click select videos, and you then click on the videos that you want to put into a folder, and you'll see here this now says move to folder. Now you can either create a new folder, which is what I'm going to do now, or you can actually put them into existing folders. So once you've created a new folder, it'll live here. So create a new folder, and I'm going to call this one cooking, and we click OK. And you'll see now Content Samurai is showing me my cooking folder, and I've got my 3 cooking videos in here. Now to get back to my uncategorized videos, I just click the little drop down, click uncategorized, and you'll see here I've now got my 3 motivation videos that aren't actually in a folder, they're just in the uncategorized state. So by default, everything will end up in uncategorized. So when you create new videos, they're uncategorized. So again, motivational tips, so we click them all and click move to folder, and you'll see now I've got my cooking folder there, but in this case, I'm going to create another one and call it motivation. And we go OK. And again, you'll see here, I've now got my 3 motivational ones. So now what I can do is I can quickly switch between the cooking ones and the motivation ones. So it also means, again, if you've got a client that has, or not a client, but if you've got hundreds of videos and you need to search for them, you can come up here and you can type the keyword you're searching for, and it will actually bring up the video. So you'll see here, this one's 5 top tips. I typed in 5 and it showed me that one. So pretty simple feature. I think everyone knows how to use folders, but if you've got lots of videos, this is a killer feature to have in your arsenal. So yeah, I don't think I've missed any major things, Wayne.
One other thing I would like to mention is the fact that you can sort the videos in different ways. So maybe you want to just touch on that while you're sharing your screen.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, so you by default it's alphabetically sorted, but you can choose most recent first or oldest first. So again, if you've got a folder that has lots and lots of videos in it, you're probably only working on a few at a time. So you would probably choose to have most recent first, so that way the ones that you're working on are up here. But you do have the option to find the oldest video. So if you've again, if you wanted to find the first video you made for a certain topic, you could type oldest first, select oldest first, sorry, and get the oldest one. So again, simple feature, but it just makes a difference to how you use the app and how quickly you can find the videos, so that you're not spending too much time finding videos and you're spending more time creating them and getting them out there.
Yeah, it's a really cool feature. I had like, jeez, I think it was over 100 videos or something like that in my dashboard, and every time I would log on, I would just want this feature. And as soon as I got it, I sorted out all my videos into about, I don't know, 10 different folders, and it makes loading the app so much quicker and just so much more bearable to log in. It was fantastic.
It is. One quick thing before I pass it over to Wayne, I just wanted to mention, I'm sure you guys have all seen it, but Sensei Sam is now dressed in his Christmas attire, so we're getting into the Christmas spirit. I think it's pretty cool.
I think we got some more Christmas stuff that we not meant to mention specifically, but should be coming a little bit later in this month. A couple more Christmas features into the app, so that'll be pretty cool. So keep your ear to the ground, check out our emails, check out our social media posts. Yeah, a little bit later in the month, maybe in a week or two, hopefully.
Yep.
Should be some new stuff in the app. That'll be pretty exciting.
Definitely. Okay, let's kick it over to Wayne so he can show you some even cooler features.
Okay, so if you can switch over presenter, can I take presenter?
Yeah, you should have presenter.
All right, let me just quickly check. So this, I'll share this screen. All right, show my screen. Now, it should be loading, or can you see my screen at the moment?
I can see it. Can everyone else see it?
Yep, getting a couple of yeses.
Yep.
Great. All right, that's awesome. So now I'll just refresh this because it's not reflecting all the work that you just did in your little demo, even though it is the same account. So you'll see now it's updated, and I have the cooking folder and the motivation folder, which Tom just showed you. But what I did is I prepared a video earlier, like they do in the cooking shows. So I have prepared this video a little bit earlier. I think I did it late last night, and it's just a little mowing tips video. It's nothing too awesome. But what I wanted to do is just show you a couple of features that that should really help you use the app. And some of you guys will know these features, so bear with me, please. But some of you guys might learn something new. So what I wanted to show you, if I can go to the script section, is this option. Bear with me, sorry. Let me unlock the script, edit the script. Is this option down here above the Create Slides for Your Video button. Okay, so there's a little drop down here that says there's an automatically create slides. Now that's the default. If you need to know what they are, by the way, there's a little question mark next to it that gives you a little rundown. But I'll do my best to be this little question mark, excuse me, this little question mark, and actually show you what this does. So automatically create slides will look for any punctuation, and it will try and break up the text here in the script section into easy to digest slides. So it might cut out, say, like after grass, and then it would look maybe for domain here because it's picking up on the fact that there's a comma after domain, and then it might take this little section and put that on a slide. But that's the normal way. That's what's happened since Content Samurai was launched. But what I want to show you, if I use this drop down, I can split up the script to one slide per sentence. So if I do that and I create slides for my video, Content Samurai will go away and it will start to split them up by sentence. So again, it's looking for punctuation. So it's found that there's a full stop on mowing, and it's put that on the one slide. And you'll also notice there's no image, so that the text is automatically hidden. If I click the hide text button, it'll come back, but by default it's hidden. Now the reason it's hidden is because this way, if you split your script by slide, by sentence, the aim is to make a video that doesn't actually display the text. So you can just quickly come through and select an image for each slide. So I'll scroll down and show you how it's split up all my slides. So this is one sentence here. On this slide, there's one sentence here. So it's split my script up into, you can see in the top right of each slide, slide 4 out of 12. So it's split it up into 12 slides based on punctuation or full stops or periods. And none of these have actual images on them. So if I scroll up to the top, I'll show you how easy it is to just take that script, and you can click on this little button here, get an image, load the image up, scroll down, click on another. So what's this? Nearly everyone has their own method to cutting grass. So let me click on the grass one, add grass, scroll down, a scalp lawn. So let's go lawn. Oh no, let's do weeds. That's not the right one. Let's do lawn. That's probably a good one. And come down. Avoid scalping grass when cutting is too short. So I'll do another grass one. And you can see that this method's really quick. I'm already at slide 4 out of 12, and I keep going. It's only going to take me a few more seconds to fill this whole, the whole slide deck up with images, and everything's already hidden. So it's a really quick way to just pump out a really fast video with just images, and that's really the aim of this little button, this little option down here in the bottom left corner of the script section, to split things up by sentence or paragraph. Now, you'll notice that when I did sentence, 1 slide per sentence, it split it up into 12 different slides. But if I choose paragraph, right, now it's going to wipe everything, because we're changing how slides are actually created. And I've come back to the script section. So if I click create slides for your video now, with a bit of luck, it should give me a lot less slides. So it's given me 7 slides now. So now it's a little bit easier. So this is a really quick and easy way to just dump a script into Content Samurai, or create a script in Content Samurai, and then move to the slide section, and you can just, and everything's already hidden. You can click on the select an image, and it will load up the image section on the left-hand side here. There's little these little blue links here is actually Content Samurai looking at the script, which is below the slide, and finding good words to search for images. So it's picked out mowings, mowing, blade, tips, leaf, domain, and grass as the keywords to search for. And if I click on mowing, which is a pretty good word out of those, you'll notice it's coming up with some pretty good results here. And like I did before, it's just a matter of getting to your first slide, putting an image on, move to your second slide, and you see these keywords have changed. So let's go lawn again. And yeah, just like I did before, it's just a matter of just doing a quick image search, finding an image, moving down, having a look at the keywords that Content Samurai has picked out of the slide text. Let's do mower. Great. That's a pretty good, oh, actually, that's a way better image. Do that. And then you just move on. So you see, it's really, really just super quick to just come in here, have a script, have Content Samurai break it up with sentences per, 1 sentence per slide, or 1 paragraph per slide, and then just clicking on an image here and adding it. So let's do like summer. Let's see what comes back with summer. There we go. That's a great image. So this really just doesn't take too long. So I'm at 4 of 7. So what I might do is just continue on, and I'll actually make this while we're all here. So let's do lawn for the next one. Oh, I keep doing lawn. Let's do grass. There's a nice pick of grass. And I hope that helps you. Let's do helps. That one didn't. There's nothing really related to. There we go. That's a good image. And if I come down, in the comments section, this slide just is like a let me know if you have any tips in the comment section. What I might do for this is unhide the text, the comment section down below. And actually, this can just fold straight into the next section that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So now you know how to quickly just put a script in and quickly select images to create your video. Obviously, it's a very visual video. I'll scroll back up and show you the images that I've picked. It's a very, very visual type of video. So obviously, it's about mowing, you know that much. But it's just some really nice photos. So you'll have a voice in the background. It will show these really powerful photos. And then if I get to the last slide here, the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is keyboard shortcuts. So I'll start off with the bold, italics, and underline. One second. So what I might do is just, so if I want to do leave a like, and I wanted to underline it, instead of actually coming up here and clicking underline, what I could do is use the Command U button or Control U if I was on Windows. So you can see once I click it, it does that, and I can click it off as well. So just make sure the text is highlighted, and you click Command U if you're on a Mac, and Control U if you're on Windows, and it will underline. I don't really like the underline there, so I'm gonna take that off for now and just leave it as an example. So leave a like and let me know if you have any tips. So let's do any tips. And let's say I wanted to italicize these two words. Instead of coming up here and clicking italics, the same thing, Command I though for Mac and Control I for Windows will italicize that. And let's say I wanted to do down below and make this bold. Pretty much the same thing, but we use B. So Command B for Mac. That doesn't look too good there, so let's do that. And Control B for Windows. So they're the keyboard shortcuts for decorating your slides, if you will, with the bold, italics, and underline buttons up in the top left corner. So if you don't want to highlight something and come up here and click bold, use the keyboard shortcuts. That's what we do in the office when we make videos. It's really, really quick, and it's just a much better experience to use in the app if you can pump through creating your slide section in a relatively quick manner, which I've already shown you how to do that with images. Using the keyboard shortcuts for the text on slides is another really powerful way to creating a really fast and powerful video. So that is that. And there's another, what was the next? The voice section recording. Okay, so now let's move on to the voice section. Now the keyboard shortcuts for the voice section, you'll see here that I've actually already uploaded a voice track for this video, which, like I said before, I prepared this last night. So I wanted to upload a voice track so I didn't have to record everything for you guys in real time. But what I will do is I'll switch to record your own voice track here, and you'll see that this first sentence here isn't recorded. Okay? So what I can do, instead of coming up here and clicking record, now you guys might know this, but some of you might not. Instead of clicking record, I can click the right arrow on my keyboard, and it will start the recording. Okay, and then I can read out the whole sentence, and when I'm ready to stop, I can press the right arrow again. Okay, so I'll let you know when I'm pressing the right arrow, and I'll show you exactly how this works. I might move to another sentence actually, which to do that, I'll hit the down arrow key, and you see it's just moved down one section without actually recording. And I can press the up arrow key to get back to the first sentence, just in case that was a mistake. But I can see this sentence is quite long. So what I'm going to do is move to the second sentence. Okay. Now I'm going to hit the right arrow key now, and you should see it start to count down. And if I record, I say, A scalp lawn is vulnerable to diseases and weed infestation. Avoid scalping grass, which is cutting too short, or which is cutting it too short. And I can hit the right arrow key. Now that's going to stop the recording, which is a really, really cool way to prevent getting the mouse clicking noise coming through in the recording. Because some people have some pretty loud mouse clicks. I know one of my mouse does it, so that's why I use the right arrow key to stop all my recordings. Because when I started, I would click the stop button, and you'd hear a little click just before it ended, which wasn't that good. So the right arrow key to start a fresh recording, and the right arrow key to stop a recording. That's probably the best way you could use the recording, the voice section, sorry, to record your sentences. One thing I did want to point out when using the right arrow key to record, though, is that if you have a sentence that's already recorded, like this, and you can tell because there's a play button. Okay, I'll move down to a sentence that's not recorded, and there's no play button and there's no re-record button. Okay, so that's how you can tell. Now I move back up, and you can see a play button and you can see a re-record button. That's how you know there's a sentence there. Now the right arrow key won't kick off a re-record. That's kind of a fail-safe that we put in there. It will stop the recording, but it won't start the re-recording. That's a fail-safe to prevent you recording, recording over a really good recording. Because as soon as you hit record, it wipes what you've got and it sets itself up to go again, to record again. But if you've nailed the recording and it's a really long sentence, like my first sentence here, if I nailed that and I accidentally hit re-record when I didn't mean to, it would be devastating. I would really, I'd be depressed for a week. So if I move down to the second sentence where there's a recording and I hit the right arrow key, it's just going to move me along to the next sentence. Now that's really powerful, just to keep one finger on the right arrow key, and you hit the right arrow key, it starts recording. You say, a sharp blade cuts grass cleanly, okay? And I'd finish the rest of my recording. And you hit the right arrow key again, and it will stop the recording, okay? And I will upload it, and then I hit the right arrow key again, and it moves to the next one. And then I hit the right arrow key again, and it will start the recording. And then I would record, adjust mower height throughout the growing season, hit the right arrow key, and it stops. So you see how it's just one key. You just have your finger on the right arrow key, and as long as you don't make a mistake and your name's not Wayne and you make 10,000 mistakes, you can just hit the right arrow key and just move your way through the recording section. But like I said, I'll go back up. Like I said, you can't kick off a re-recording, but you can click this re-record button and it will count down, and you can re-record, adjust mower height throughout the growing season. Then you can hit the right arrow key to stop your recording, and re-recording, sorry, I should say. And that again will prevent the mouse click. So that's a really, really cool keyboard shortcut. And just again, I'll touch on it one more time. You can go up and down with the up and down keys to navigate through your recordings. And I'll just throw, it's not a keyboard shortcut, but I will throw this in here for anyone who doesn't know. There's a button in the top right corner. It says go to first unrecorded sentence, and that takes me to the first unrecorded sentence, which in my case is the first sentence. So they're the keyboard shortcuts I wanted to share with you guys in the record mode. Sorry, in the voice section, I beg your pardon. And the next keyboard shortcuts I wanted to share with you guys are in the preview section. So to move forward, I'm going to switch back to upload a voice track because, like I said, I had one prepared from earlier, and then continue to previewing my video. So I can show you the keyboard shortcuts here. Okay, so what I'll do, I think everyone should be pretty much familiar with the preview section. And you can see if I click the play button on my video here, you might not be able to hear it. I can hear my own voice, which is not a good thing. Okay, so if I click the manually adjust timing button, you can see this is my timeline here. And the keyboard shortcuts I wanted to show you were around using this record timing button, which is in the center of the screen, a little bit lower than the center of the screen. I'll just make my thing a little bit smaller there so you can see. And I'll click record timing, okay? Actually, what I'll do is I'll explain what it does, sorry, before I kick it off. So record timing is going to play my video through. And every time I want the next slide to appear, all I have to do is either click the next slide button, which will take the place of the record timing button, or hit the right arrow key. So I'll show you exactly how to do that. So you click record timing, and here you can either click the next slide, like if I want the next slide to come in there, just click a button. And wait a little bit longer, then next slide. And then I wait a little bit longer, and I can hit the right arrow key, and it does the same thing. It allows the next slide to come in whenever I click the button. So this is a really cool keyboard shortcut and just normal shortcut that really helps you play your video through in one take, and especially if you don't have any text, or if the syncing's out for whatever reason, you can choose. You have full control of when the next slide will appear, which is a really, really powerful thing for either getting your video back into sync or just fine-tuning it exactly how you like it. So again, what I'll do is I'll drag this cursor on my video back to the start, because I know that might have been a little bit confusing, and I'll go through it one more time. So you can see the time in the timeline up here. I'm at 0 seconds of 1 minute and 2 seconds, and I hit record timing, and you'll notice this red vertical bar start moving through my timeline. Okay, and there's a next slide button here that I'm going to click right at the right time, so about now, and that brings in the next slide. And then I wait a little bit longer even, and then I hit next slide now. Okay, now if I want to hit the right arrow key instead of clicking that button, I'll wait to the right time, which is a little bit longer, and I'll hit the right arrow key now. And I'll stop recording. One other thing I did want to touch on while I'm here is adjust video length. So I'm just checking my notes. So that actually finishes the keyboard shortcut. So I'll quickly, before I show you adjust video length, I'll just quickly run through them verbally. So what I showed you today was the split by sentence and split by paragraph features that are in the script section. So I'll navigate back just so I can show you guys. I'll edit my script because Content Samurai knows I've already done I've done some work in the way of adding images and formatting my text on the last slide. So I would have to actually click edit the script here to unlock it and be able to play with it, just in case, you know, it's because if I do play with it, it might stuff some of that up. So I'll show you. Oh, whoops, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Let me go back. So what I showed you today was the 1 slide per sentence and 1 slide per paragraph. There's also so I'll move on to the slide section, and I'll show you that I showed you that you can bold, italicize. I'll quickly scroll to the bottom, sorry. Bear with me 1 second. I showed you that you can quickly bold, italicize, and underline things with keyboard shortcuts, which is using the Command U, Command I, and Command B buttons, or if you're on Windows, it's Control U, Control I, and Control B buttons. And that helps you out, so you can just quickly bold something or underline it or italicize it. The other thing I showed you was the record mode, so the voice section, beg your pardon, where you can record your own voice by hitting the right arrow key to start the recording, spit your sentence, hopefully you get it out in one go, and then you can hit the right arrow key to stop, and that will quickly upload. and then you can hit the right arrow key to move on. Okay, I'll quickly switch back to my upload a voice track and I'll move to the preview section. And the last thing I showed you was how to manually adjust your timing using the record timing button, which is in the center of the screen here. And when you want the next slide to come in, you can either hit the right arrow key or you can just click the next slide button. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to show you guys, which isn't a keyboard shortcut, but is a pretty cool new feature that we have that we've just introduced into the app, is the ability to drag out the end of the slot, the end of the audio line here, or the timeline here. Now, it might not make sense to do that right now because all it's going to do is drag out this last slide. And you'll see here in the little timeline at the bottom, I stop speaking. So I say the last two words. I say down below at around this mark here, the 101 mark, the 1 minute and 1 second mark. And I've dragged this timeline out for a further 8 seconds, which you can see I can drag it closer or I can drag it further out, which, you know, it doesn't make too much sense to actually do that right now because I've stopped speaking. But let's say I move back to the slide section and I move down to the bottom. So I'll quickly scroll to the bottom and I click the add a new slide. And I'm just going to write company name just so you guys get the idea and website, okay? So www.website.com, which is not my website. And I move to the preview section, okay? Now, you notice in the voice section that I uploaded my own voice track. So I don't need to re-record anything. I'll just move to the preview section and I'll let it create my slides. I'll click on manually adjust timing and I'll drag my timeline, the little blue icon here, all the way to the end. Okay, now you can see this new slide here, company name. I'll make sure it comes in a little bit after, and I'll drag the length of my video out a little bit. Move along, drag it out a touch more. Okay, and I'll play the last little bit of this video. So I'll click in here, and I'll play this. So the effect that I'm hoping to get is that once I've read this last slide, the text that's on this last slide, it will display a slide that has my company name and my website for, I'm not sure how long I dragged it out, I think another 8 seconds. So it's just going to linger there for 8 seconds. And, you know, a lot of people have been asking for this feature, so I'll show you how it works. So there you go. That's a really powerful way to actually keep your company name and maybe your website displaying on your videos, maybe before an outro or instead of an outro, and just have it on screen for a little bit longer. So that's a really powerful feature to sort of branding your videos a little bit further. Which I believe, Tom, brings me to the end of my demo section.
That does. Sorry. One thing that a couple of people have asked about, Wayne, is how do they change the color of the text? Do you mind spending a minute just showing them the custom themes feature and how they can choose the color of the text? Especially, I think people were wanting to change the color of the bold.
Okay, no problem. So I've switched back to the slide section. To do this, you'll need to be in the slide section. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll move down to the bottom slide because the rest of my slides have images. So it's going to be hard to show you the text on a slide with just an image. But here we go. Here we have a slide with some bold on it, and you'll notice it's a green background, a light green background with black text. And I've picked this from the select themes. So on the left-hand side here, we have a bunch of themes that we've already made and we've put into the app. I say we have, but the marketers and the developers, basically everyone but me, have got together. They've found out some really, really cool apps, really nice themes, and I think even our marketing team have spoken to a lot of our customers and got some feedback, and we figured out the most requested themes, and we've based them around that. So I could switch to one of these pre-made themes, and it's just going to load a background image for all of my slides, or I can come back up to one of these, a little bit more basic themes without a background image, and it's just sort of like an effect in the background. Now these are the preset themes, but you can get really fancy and switch over to the My Themes section and click this big green Create a New Theme button, which is what anyone who's asking how to change the text is really after. So let's name this. Let's just call it Webinar. Now I have full control over my background color, the text color, and the highlight color, and the font style. But let's focus on the colors, seeing as you guys are asking about the colors. I'll pick a nice green background again, probably a little bit darker. Oh, I like that one. I'm not the greatest at picking these colors, but you definitely get the idea. I can pick the background color. I'll leave the text color white, but I will show you that you can change it. Excuse me. You could change it to red. You can just slide this slider up and down. You really have so much control. But I'll move that back to all white, and the highlight color that's selected here. So let's say I wanted to do, like a orangey, maybe a little bit darker, something closer to the side of brown. Again, not really good at picking colors. Takes me a long time to pick colors, and I'm feeling a little bit on the spot right now. But you definitely get the idea. You can just come up here, you create your own theme. You have full control over the name. Well, you name the theme. You have full control over the background color. You can upload a background image. So if I had an image prepared,
for uploading, if you want a watermark on your video, this is where you would do it.
Right. Yeah. You can even you could upload a fully transparent image. That's the size of the slide, which is 1280 by 720 pixels. And you can just have a company logo in the bottom right-hand corner. It's something I didn't really prepare, so I wouldn't be able to do it quickly for you and find a company logo and show you.
What we'll do is we'll actually, we have covered this in a previous webinar, the custom themes in more detail. So what we'll do is when we send out the replay to this one, we'll make sure we link to the other webinar that had this custom theme stuff shown in more detail, because there have been a few people asking about watermarking and the colors and stuff like that. So we'll hook you guys up with a link to the previous webinar. I can't remember off the top of my head which number it was, otherwise I'd tell you right now, but we'll make sure we include it.
Now I see there's a question from Dan who asks, can we use a custom font? That's a great question that I would like to answer right now if you guys don't mind. You can't use a custom font, but we have included a bunch of fonts. I think I can't quickly count these, but I think it's up around the 30 mark, maybe even 32 different types of fonts. So I'll quickly switch out to like Catamaran, and that's very similar to the one I already had. But you can get ones that are, there's 32 different fonts. So there are some really cool fonts in here. Crafty Girls, which is like a arts and craft type font. A Dancing Script, which is very stylish and scriptive. Love You Like a Sister. I think this has got the love hearts. Oh no, that must be a different one. Yeah, so there's 32 fonts that you can use in here. We weren't able to just sort of allow you to upload your own fonts. There's limitations on that on our end. We did think about that, but yeah, we were forced to use a certain type of font kit, so we could only select a certain few. So we went through those and we picked out the cream. We took the cream of the crop and we put them into the app here. So you can see there is a bunch of different fonts, so you can really customize your videos to your brand. You can change the highlight color, like I said before, and yeah, you can really start to set your own theme up. And you can save as many themes as you like. So let's say if I save that's my webinar theme. Oh, sorry, I'll cancel out of this and I'll show you guys that it actually applied to my whole slide deck, the entire slide deck. So if I did hide that, you can see that it's applied. I just brought the text back. Sorry, you can see that it's applied to my entire slide deck. So I highlight these two. I hit Command B because I'm on a Mac, and it's picked my font color here. And like I was saying before, you can come up to create new themes and make as many as you want. So webinar 2, I'll quickly change the background color to blue, save that, create a new theme. Webinar 3, change the font, change this color. Not a very good looking theme, but I think you get the point. You can make as many themes as you want. Excuse me. And yeah, there's absolutely no limitation there, but that's how you would change font color. So hopefully that answers your question.
Okay, now in the interest of time, because we've hit 45 minutes now, what we'll do is we'll go and answer the questions that were posted below the video on the registration link, the landing page with the video announcing the webinar. There was some questions below that. So what we'll do, we'll answer those ones, and then we'll circle back and we'll try and answer as many of the questions that you guys are posting in the webinar, because I can see that there are people asking questions. So we will answer the pre-prepared ones first, because those people took the time to leave a comment under the video, which is what we wanted. So I'll kick it off with, someone was asking, what is the recommended image size when using a layout that is half text and half image? I struggled to add a logo image to a slide because no matter what size I made it, it wouldn't look good. Full slide images. So if you haven't changed the layout and it's just the full image, you want to upload an image that is 1280 by 720. That way it fills it out nicely and you don't have any cropping on the top or the sides. Now, it doesn't. If you have an even bigger image than that, it doesn't have to be 1280 by 720. It just needs to be in that ratio. So it can be bigger, but if you want to make it foolproof, resize your images to 1280 by 720, and that way you know that what you've got is what will appear on the screen. Half slide images, they are 640 by 720. So again, if you resize the image before you upload it to 640 by 720, you know it's going to fit perfectly, and you can't. You basically, once you upload it, there's no needing to move it around or zoom in, zoom out. It'll fit the spot perfectly. There is a Help Center article that explains this in detail, so I think we will put this into the chat and also probably into the replay video when we send it out.
Yeah, it'll be just below the video.
Yep.
In the replay. But yeah, do you want to pop that one into the chat room for anyone who wants to have a look at that article?
I will.
Perfect. And I'll take the next question. Does that sound all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the next question would be, I'm not sure who wrote it, sorry. But the question is, it would be amazing to be able to add a subscribe button and link to your channel. Is there a way to do that currently? I don't like the way YouTube forces you to use your channel image for your subscribe. They should allow you to select an image for that. Would be helpful if something like that was built into the software. Now, I think there might even be two questions on the same topic here, but there's no way to actually make a clickable link in your YouTube, in your Content Samurai videos, because what Content Samurai does is it helps you. It makes a video. It makes a video file. So video files themselves aren't clickable. You can't make a video clickable. Okay. So what you can do is, like you alluded to, you can upload to YouTube, and YouTube have a way to make videos clickable, which they call annotations. So once you upload your video to YouTube, there's a little annotation section, and what you do is you just add an annotation, which you sort of like just draw a little box around a section of your video, and you can select where in that video it starts. You give it like a time. So if you wanted to come in straight away, it would start at 000, and if you wanted it to last for 10 seconds, the end time would be 0, 0, and then 10. So 10 seconds. I'm kind of not doing a great job of explaining it, but you can't make Content Samurai videos clickable. You have to sort of either upload it to YouTube and add an annotation, or like we do at Noble Samurai, we always refer to links that are below the video or a button that's below the video. Much like, you know, this video where you signed up to come to the webinar here. We made a video announcing it on the landing page, and below the video we had a link to the registration page. And in the video we mentioned that. We said, you know, there's two things you need to do to sign up. You need to click the link below this video and follow it to the registration page and sign up, and also leave a comment below this video. So nothing on our video was clickable, but we did mention something below the video. Okay, so your YouTube videos, you can add annotations, and what we might do is, I think I had this ready. Yeah, I do. I have a link.
I've put it into chat.
You've already put it into chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tom's put a link to, funnily enough, a YouTube video that explains how to add annotations on YouTube videos. The best way is to listen to a professional who knows what they're talking about and exactly how to guide you through those steps, you know, actually guide you through them. So I would suggest watching that after the webinar, of course. And for anyone who's watching this on replay, just check below the video and we'll have a link out to that video.
Yep. Okay, next question. Is there a way to identify the images used in one video to enable them to be quickly found again? I.e. some sort of storage for all the images that have been used in previous videos. At the moment, there isn't a way to access, you know, a previously used images folder or a group, but it is something that we know is painful. We experience the pain when we're creating videos, and we can remember finding this awesome picture, and we try and search for it, and we're not finding it. So we understand there is some pain around that sort of stuff, and it is something that we're working on. We're just trying to work out, you know, the nicest way to implement a feature like that. So it's definitely something that's on our radar. I can't give you guys an ETA of when it might happen, but it's just, I want you guys to know that we feel the pain just as much as you guys do. So it's definitely on our radar, and it's something we will try and fix in the future. Over to Wayne for the next one.
Right. You just did the identify images, didn't you? Cool. Sorry, I was too busy in the chat room having a chat with some of our awesome attendees. So the next question would be, when can we see a volume control under the individual sentences recorded so we can equalize the voice over? This, now the answer to this question is a little bit long-winded, but what did you expect when I answer a question? Mr. Waffle on. Okay, so this probably isn't going to be a feature we see in Content Samurai in the next few weeks. It will be soon, but it won't be in the next few weeks. And the reason for that is that our developers are working on a really massive task at the moment. We're improving the infrastructure on which Content Samurai was built. Okay, so once that's done, we can add some really, really cool features. At the moment, it's not so easy to add features. It's been a sort of a burden for us, really for the developers, and by proxy, us in support having to deal with you guys, deal with our customers, and who just want these really cool features, but it's so hard to implement them. So what we've had to do is sort of sit down and really have a think about how Content Samurai was built and the infrastructure it was built on. And what we're undergoing at the moment, and we have been for the last few weeks, and will be for a few weeks to come, is a complete infrastructure rebuild. The good news, the really good news, is that most features that you guys are requesting are going to be so much easier to implement and quicker to implement once this new infrastructure is actually built. So your question with the individual sentences recorded, you know, a volume slider for individual sentences. Now that probably won't be in the app, to be honest, but what will be in the app is a bunch of audio sweetening features. So it can level out all of the audio. You can increase the volume. It can hopefully cut out some background noise, but really sweeten the audio once this new infrastructure is built. And you know, we have one eye on that when we're building it. We know what to sort of aim for, and that's definitely a big one that's on our list. It's something that I personally have felt the pinch because I make a lot of Content Samurai videos, and as soon as the audio, goes down a little bit, or if I move a little bit away because I'm recording a really long video, and the audio comes through in different levels, it really bugs me. So I'm as soon as that happens, I just walk straight over to the developers table, and I just sort of poke them until they stop what they're doing and they pay attention to me. And yeah, it's something that's really been on my mind. It's bugging me for a long time. So this new infrastructure build is going to be awesome. It's fantastic. The audio sweetening that's coming should really fix this issue, and there won't be any need for individual volume sliders for each recordable chunk.
Yep. The next one was, is there a way to put a clickable link on a video slide for prospects to click on and direct them to your website? I think we've already answered that one previously. There isn't a way, but you can add a YouTube annotation to it if you host videos on YouTube. So again, check out the link that we posted into chat. Do you want me to take the next one?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So this one is, why does Content Samurai sometimes combine slide content into one slide after you've chosen to animate? First of all, I'm not 100% sure what you're asking in this one, so I'm sorry if I completely missed the mark here, but I mean, at the moment, Content Samurai doesn't do animations, so I'm guessing you're talking about why do the recordable sentences sometimes not match what the slides are doing. So in the slide section, you might split up a sentence across multiple slides, and then when you go to record the audio for it, it's still in one chunk, it's still in a sentence. So the reason for that is that Content Samurai tries to keep the recordable snippets free flowing, so we try and keep them as large as we can. So usually they're broken up into a full sentence. So you might have one full sentence in the recording section, but then on the slides that actually goes over 3 slides. So you'll see a difference in it there. And again, the reason is so that when you're recording the text, it flows nicely, so you don't have this broken sentence that's in 3 chunks. The idea is that you record it all in one sentence, and then you can the Content Samurai will then split it up over the 3 slides so that it all flows and it's all smooth. Basically, that's what the aim is, to try and create a smooth, free-flowing video. So again, if I've completely missed the mark on your question, I'm sorry, but again, feel free to reach out at support@contentsamurai.com, and more than happy to chat with you more about it.
And the last question that we have already prepared before we move on to the Q&A in the chat is, why does Content Samurai not always offer you a musical soundtrack sometimes? It skips the step and you wind up with a presentation with no musical background because you were never given a chance to add one. Now, this is not something that we've really run into, to be brutally honest. We, the background music is in the preview section of Content Samurai. That's where it lives. Now, none of the videos automatically have songs added. It's something that you always have to manually add yourself. We don't pick a background track for you. So if you want to add a background track, go to the preview section. On the left-hand side, there's a column with all the background music. Now you can play each background track, but it won't actually add to the video unless you click on it. And you can tell it's been clicked on because it highlights in blue. So if you move to the preview section and you click on a background track and it doesn't add to your video, then please get in touch with us in support so we can help you out. You can do that by emailing support@contentsamurai.com. And if you can do that, we'd really love to help you guys out. But it hasn't been something that we've actually experienced ourselves, so it's not something that I can really help you out with in my personal experience.
Yeah. Okay. So we are running over time. So what we'll do is we'll spend 5 more minutes on questions, and so we'll flick over to the questions you guys are asking in the chat box. So first of all, Heather wanted to know, with the 3, 2, 1 countdown, how does this impact the flow of a sentence that goes over 2 slides? It shouldn't impact it at all. The 3, 2, 1, no recordings happening yet. we only start recording once you start speaking, and Content Samurai will strip out any blank noises at the start and also at the end of a recording. So you shouldn't notice any sort of jitteriness. It should just be free flowing. Next question.
Yep. Next one would be Helen. How do we add the color? How do we change the color of the text? So you guys might have seen that in my demo where I showed the custom themes. Wish I had a Control U button for my daughter sometimes. That's hilarious, David. Can you lay a music track and overlay a voice track? Absolutely. So you can have a background music track and you can upload a voice track. So for example, this mowing, in the demo, when I showed you guys that mowing video, I uploaded my voice track. And if I went to the preview section, I could definitely 100% have picked a background music track. And once you do that, you have volume sliders for each of the 2 tracks. So you could turn up my voice and you could turn down the background track, or vice versa.
Yep. Someone's asking, can you do a fade transition feature between slides? Yes, that's what we're working towards. It's the major infrastructure task that Wayne was talking about before. That's something that we're trying to do to set us up to be able to do transitions. So it's coming. We're doing everything we can to get it in there.
Right, and another question that was that came up and I answered via text was about the Ken Burns, and that's also in the infrastructure. We've got our eye on about 3 or 4 different awesome features, including like slide transitions, Ken Burns. I'm blanking on a couple of them, but text animations, things like that. We've got our eye on those things, but we found out that we really needed an infrastructure rebuild to actually work on those types of things. So those things are coming, definitely. But let me answer this one question from Heather. It says, how do we add a watermark type with our website on it to our slide deck? Now, do you guys remember back to when I created my custom theme in the demo section of this video? There was a upload a background image. So what you need to do at the moment, funnily enough, until we do the infrastructure rebuild and we actually have a dedicated watermark feature, what you need to do is add your watermark to a background image that's the size of a slide, so 1280 by 720 pixels, and you just upload that as your background image to your theme. Then when you select that theme, it will apply to all your slides, and it will have your little watermark in one of the corners. So that, at the moment, that's how you add a watermark, and that's how we do a watermark on our videos. And yeah, that should help you out.
Yep. I've got a question here from Catherine. She said, what would you think of creating some video intros, like sparkling glitter intros to a video beginning? We might look at adding some video clips into Content Samurai where you guys can use them, but probably the best thing if you're wanting an intro video clip for all of your videos is to head to fiverr.com or something like that and actually get a custom intro video created. That's what we do whenever we're creating a new sort of side project, or even our Content Samurai videos. You'll notice that we have our Content Samurai branding on them. So I think Wayne has actually created a how-to video for doing this. So we'll try and either yep. I'm guessing he might be looking for it now. We'll try and post into the chat. From memory, I think it's $10-ish, $10 to get a custom one made. Obviously, it can be maybe a little bit more, but it's definitely not an expensive thing. So, yeah, we'll consider getting some clips into Content Samurai. But if you're making videos, the best thing to do is have a custom one that no one else will have, and it's got your branding on it, and it's money well spent.
That's right. Yep. So I popped that one into the group chat, so you guys can check that out after the webinar or load it up now. But obviously, you won't be watching it because we're so charismatic that you can't peel your eyes away from us.
I've got one question from Laurie.
Oh, you got it?
Laurie McDonald. Yeah, I'll do this one. When you record your voice, is it better to use a handheld mic or the one in my iMac? We are probably. I mean, it depends on the quality of the built-in mic. I should say that, but I'm of the belief that most built-in microphones and computers, and especially laptops, aren't that great for audio recordings because you can typically hear the fans inside the computer and things like that. We are always using external mics. I'll try and pick this one up. It might get a little bit noisy. You see Wayne and I are both using these Yeti microphones, purely because you can keep them away from the computer. You can get nice and close to them, and the closer you are, the better it will sound. So I would say use an external mic wherever possible, but always test it out. Do a comparison. Do one video with the built-in mic, one video with the external mic, and see what sounds better.
Awesome. One thing I wanted to touch on here is a question that says equal size font for all slides, regardless of slide content size. Currently, font sizes are different, not good. Now, how do I answer this? So, if you have lots of text on a slide, we try and fit all the text on one slide. There's only one way to fit a lot of text on one slide, and that's to make the font smaller. You can't fit all of the... If you have lots of text on one slide, you can't expect the font size to be the same as if you had 2 or 3 words. If you had 30 words on a slide and you had 3 words on a slide, the font isn't going to be the same size because we're trying to fit all of those words onto the slide for you. So it's going to make the font size smaller, compact, so we can actually fit everything on there. There is a maximum size font. So if you had 3 words or you had 7 words, it's very likely you're going to see the same font size because that's not too many words for a slide. But if you had 30 words on a slide, it's just going to be smaller. We're going to have to compact the font size to fit all of those words on a slide. So my suggestion would be use less words on a slide if that's a big problem. But yeah, there's only really one way to fit a lot of words on a slide, and that's to compact it.
Yeah. Dave was wanting to know, is there a Content Samurai forum where we can all chat together, like a Facebook group? Yes, Wayne created a Facebook group that we're looking to kind of promote a little bit more now. So I will send the link out into the chat box. So it hasn't had a whole lot of activity at the moment because we haven't really promoted it to people. So we've got our Facebook page, which is kind of where you'll get official updates on the app and things like that. But we've also got this Facebook group that we've created where we're wanting to set up a community hangout where everyone can just get together, share their videos, talk about their experiences with making videos and Content Samurai, and we're working on getting that sort of more active. So if everyone that's at the webinar today wants to join the group, that would be awesome. We can get it going. We can start sharing little tips and tricks. And
that'd be cool.
Yeah, Wayne and I will try and make sure that we pop in there and share what's working for us when we're making videos. So check it out.
Yeah, if everyone could join that, or you've just got to request, and I'll accept everyone a little bit later today. That'd be really cool. We can get that community going, and we can all help each other. And yeah, it'll be fantastic. And it's a much better place to actually go and share tips rather than come to the Content Samurai official site, which is a really good place to get in touch with support maybe, or check if things are down, or new features that we've added, or some funny stuff that we like to share. But yeah, if we separate, a community-based Facebook group, I think that would be really powerful.
Yeah, and I'm actually seeing the notifications coming through right now of everyone signing up to it. So that's awesome. Thanks, guys. We appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Probably maybe close to finishing up. I might add. The questions are slowing down a little bit, but there is one here that says, for some reason our Mac mic works better than the Yeti. That's very strange. These, we love these. We love Yetis. One thing I would suggest is maybe having a look at some of the Help Center articles that are like getting your mic to work, or a couple of tips on getting your mic to work, and just make sure that you followed all the steps there. And one big thing is if you move to the voice section, you find that the built-in mic is selected, and you change the Yeti mic, you have to refresh the page. But But again, if you get to the help center and you have a look for one of the articles or videos that that help you with your mic, some tips on getting your mic, getting the the best out of your recording, you'll come across a few tips there that should help you out, because the Yeti mic should always be better than your built-in Mac mic.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's probably all we've got time for today. So yeah, we've gone over time, but thanks for attending, guys. It's awesome to see you guys so interested in the app and using it and all these questions. I know there's still people asking questions and I feel bad that we can't answer them. Can I just say the best thing, if you've got questions, the best thing and the way to make sure they get answered is to actually post them below the announcement video. When we send out the email saying, hey, we're having a webinar, there'll be a link to a landing page that has a video, and just below that there's a comment section. If you put your questions in that comment section, we'll actually add them to our list of our things that we're doing for the webinar, and that way it's locked in, we'll definitely answer it. Whereas these ones at the end, it's kind of like, okay, let's see how many we can answer in the next 15 minutes. So yeah.
But if we haven't answered your questions or you still have further questions, there will be a replay to this webinar going out, and maybe you could just chuck your questions down in the comment section below that video this time. But yeah, but like Tom said, if you see the announcement video for webinar 8, which shouldn't be too long away, we haven't spoken about it, so I don't know when it would be. Carolee, or join the Facebook group. That's that's so correct. Obviously, that Facebook group, the I Use Content Samurai, is a community-based group, so you will be getting community answers. Hopefully, if it works how it works in my head, you'll be getting the community helping you as well. But yeah, you can post below the announcement video, below the replay video, or in the I Use Content Samurai group, especially if you have a tip you would like to share with other people rather than a question. That's a really, really, really good place.
Yeah, definitely. And before we go, in terms of Wayne was mentioning webinar number 8, the next webinar, again, we're happy to do these webinars if you guys want us to do them. So please let us know what sort of content you might want to see in a webinar. We saw today that there were people asking about themes, so maybe we'll go back and do a bit of a refresher on themes. But if there's anything else about Content Samurai or making videos that you want to know or you don't know how to do something, please let us know so that we can try and feed it into these webinars and help you guys as much as possible. Yeah, I think that's it. Again, thanks for coming. I know it's late/early in some places of the world, so we appreciate you guys taking the time. A replay will be sent out hopefully by the end of the week, but if not, it'll be early next week at the latest, I think. So yeah, thanks guys. It wasn't too bad. We only went over by, I don't know, half an hour. That's not bad. That's good.
40 minutes.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for turning up. Really appreciate it. If you can join that Facebook group that we popped in the chat, really appreciate it too. And yeah, get this community growing.
Yep. Awesome. All right. See you guys.
So there you go. Thanks for making it to the end. I hope those tips and tricks helped. If we didn't answer a question you have, scroll down below this video, leave your question there, and we'll do our best to get back to you.